Okay. So today uh, I'll be explaining the code for the first come first serve. So before I start with the code, I would like to explain you the theory and then the code. Okay. So this is the scheduling algorithm, that is the first come first serve or FCFS. And in FCFS the jobs are executed in a first come first serve basis. Okay, so whichever the job that will come first will be served first. Okay, and the other advantages of this um scheduling algorithm is that it is very easy to understand and to implement. uh, the performance wise it is like poor performance, as average waiting time is very high. Now what is the average waiting time? That is, uh, as you can see here, there are five different processes are there. Okay, so P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and the arrival time of those processes are: P1 has arrived at time 0, P2 has arrived at time 1, and P3 has arrived at time 2, and P4 has arrived at time 3, and P5 has arrived at time 4. So by the time 4, okay, all the uh, all the processes has arrived. Okay, but as you can see here that the process 1 takes 8 burst time. So until and unless this process P1 gets completed, process P2 will never get a chance to execute. Okay, that is, the P2 will require only one burst time, but it has to wait for the 8 burst time that is of the process P1. So similarly, this process P3, which requires only 3 burst time, but its waiting time is 9. And likewise, the P4, which requires only 2 burst time to execute, but it has to wait for a 12 burst time. Okay, so that is what it says, that it has got a very poor performance, as the average waiting time is quite high, because until and unless this all process get executed, the chance of this process P4 will never come. Okay, so first, so when this P4 will get the chance, so its previous processes will get executed, then only it will get the chance. Okay, so let's see the problem first, then we'll see the coding. So here it is, the this is the Gantt chart. Okay, so the process P1 executes, then process P2, and then process P3, P4, and finally the process P4. Okay, so these are the process numbers, that is the P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. And here there is an arrival time, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are the burst times of these processes, that P1 requires 8 burst time to execute, P2 requires 1 burst time to execute, P3 requires 3 burst time to execute, and P4 requires 2 burst time, and P5 requires 6 burst time. Okay, so let's see the completion time of all these processes. So first we'll start with the process that is the P1. So P1 will require 8 burst time to execute. So as it is a first come first serve algorithm, so first this process P1 will get executed. It requires a 8 burst time. Okay, so its completion time is 8. Next process P2 requires 1 burst time, so its completion time will be 8 plus 1, that is a 9. So the next P3 will execute and it requires 3 burst time. So 9 plus 3 is 12 burst time that is required. That is the completion time. And for the P4, the burst time is 2, and so its completion time will be 12 plus 2, that is a 14. And for P5, the burst time is 6, and previously this P4 were executed and its completion time was 14. So 14 plus 6 total is 20 burst time, that is the completion time of P5. Okay, so now let's calculate the turnaround time. So the formula of turnaround time is the completion time minus the arrival time. Okay, so 8 minus 0 is 8. Okay, then 9 minus 1 is 8, then 12 minus 2 is 10. So like that, 14 minus 3 is 11, and 20 minus 4 is 16. So this is the completion turnaround time that we get after we deducted that arrival time from the completion time. Then we have to find out the waiting times, and the formula for waiting time is the turnaround time. So this is the turnaround time minus the burst time. So 8 minus 8 will be 0, 8 minus 1 is 7, 10 minus 3 is 7, and 11 minus 2 is 9, and 16 minus 6 is 10. So this is the waiting time, okay? So after we find out the turnaround time and the waiting time, what we are supposed to do now is we need to find the like average turnaround time and the average waiting time. So the average waiting time will be just calculate all this and divided by number of processes. Okay. So number of processes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So add this and divided by 5. And likewise, this turnaround time will also be like that. Just add it and divided by 5, and you will get the average average waiting time and the turnaround time. Okay, now the same problem what we are going to do will be doing with an we will just execute the code. Okay. Just okay. Satyam, code is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so number of process was like 5. Okay, so arrival time of the first process was like 0, and its burst time was 8. Arrival time for the process P2 was 1, and its burst time was also 1. Arrival time for the process P3 was 2, and its burst time was 3. Next, the arrival time of process P4 was 3, and the burst time was 2. And the arrival time for the process P5 was 4, and the burst time was 6. Okay. So here you can see that the process P0 arrival time is 0 and its burst time is 8. For process P1 the arrival time is 1 and the burst time is also 1. For process P2 the arrival time is 2 and the burst time is 3. And for the process P3 the arrival time is 3 and the burst time is 2. And for process P4 the arrival time is 4 and the burst time is 6. Okay. And I have showed you the calculation for this to find the completion time, and then the turnaround time and the waiting time. Okay. And finally you just add this divided by 5, you'll be getting the average waiting time. So in the previous example that I've showed you in theory, there also we got that the average waiting time was 6.6 and the average turnaround time was 10.6. Okay, now we'll see the code. Okay, so you have to write that hash include stdio.h in order to take input and output. You have to add this uh, header file. Okay, to use that printf and scanf. Now this conio.h that is basically used to clear the screen so that the previous output will get cleared. Okay, and not only that clear CLR SCR, but also that gets ch, okay, so that it will wait for the key press. Now we have defined, okay, after that we have declared here int main, and for this declaration of int main we have used here return 0, okay. So you can use void main also, and if you are using that void main out there, then no need to use that return 0, okay. Okay, next we have defined different different variables, and all are the floating point variable. That is the reason in the output you are seeing like 0 0, okay. So this is the process, okay. It's an array of size 50, then there is an arrival time, there is another variable, then this is the burst time, okay. And then there is an waiting time, then there is a completion time, then there is a turnaround time, okay. All we have used an array. Next we have taken an n, okay, like how many numbers are there, okay, for that. And for I is also a 0. Then this is an average waiting time, and this is an average turnaround time. These are also a floating point variable, and we have assign it with a 0. Next, clear screen. Then the print screen is going to print like first come first serve algorithm using an arrival time. So without arrival time also you can calculate. It's not mandatory that you have to use always an arrival time, okay. So without arrival time also you can calculate that. Now enter the first number. Oh, okay, sorry. Enter the number of a process. So how many processes are there? You have to define. So here in this case, we have used the 5 different processes. So we have to write here 5, and it will be stored in this variable n. Now enter the arrival time and the burst time. The arrival time and burst time will be taken input using this for loop. Okay, that is till that number. Okay, that is the 0 to, if I have written 5, then it will start with 0 to uh, 4. Okay, and it is going to store in this process with the plus 1. That is, if it is a process 0, then it will be stored as a process 1. Okay, like that, and it's going to print that, okay, that process. This one is like that, okay. Next, that it's going to print like here, that process enter for process p0, okay, burst time and the arrival time, and then it's going to take an input, and here you can see there is a percentage f, which means it's going to take a floating point variable. So ampersand like a time, there is an arrival time, and b time is the burst time. So it's going to store, okay. Now that input will be taken using a for loop. Next, there is a process arrival time and the burst time will be printed out here, okay. And then the calculation is out here. That is, the waiting time is 0, then turnaround time is equals to burst time equals to all 0, okay. Then we have, what we have done, we have used a for loop that for I equals to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. So arrival time equals to arrival time, that is an I minus 1 plus burst time I, and turnaround time I equals to arrival time I minus the formula that is was given out there, okay, minus the arrival time I. Next is the waiting time equals to turnaround time minus the burst time, and then we, what we have done, we have used it in order to find the average waiting time as well as the uh, average turnaround time also. And finally, what we have done, we have printed it using a for loop, since it is been stored in the in an array. So with the help of this for loop, we have displayed this, okay. So first it's going to display the like an arrival time, okay. Slash t means tab will be used. Next slash t, then the burst time, then slash t the completion time, then slash t the turnaround time, and finally there is an waiting time. So using the for loop, we have retrieved all the data that has been stored in um, uh, those variables, okay. Okay, so all the variables names are given like arrival time, burst time, then there is an average waiting time, okay, then the completion time, okay. Next, the average waiting time that we have calculated and we have stored out here. Okay. So we are displaying it that average waiting time equals to percentage 0.2f. That means whatever the value will be there, it will be using two decimal points. Okay. So average waiting time, and then there is an average turnaround time, and finally there is an get ch and return 0. So again I will run this program and then I will just ask you to write it. Okay. Okay, so um, number of processes are basically five. Okay, and the arrival time is for the first process is 0, and the burst time is 8. Next, the for process P2, the arrival time is 1, and the burst time is also 1. Oh, sorry, wait. Okay, the burst time is also 1. Next, for process P3, the arrival time is 2, um, mm, and the bus time is 3. Next, for the process P3, the arrival time is 3 and the bus time is 2. And for the process P5, the arrival time is 4 and the bus time is 6. Okay, and here is the output. Okay, so is it okay to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you just write the code. Okay. Uh, I cannot screen will be like this only. Okay, you cannot means I cannot just increase the size of the screen. So you just copy it and just stop recording.